Alright, so it's a bit later in the day getting this done than I wanted to, but yeah. So here is, I actually finished this last week, but I didn't finish it until closer to midnight, so I didn't get a video up last week for it. But this was a request, again, from someone on DeviantArt. They wanted their OC with, I believe her name is Lucia. She's from one of the Fire Emblem games. They had requested me drawing them kissing / hugging at sunset. Which I said I would attempt to do, but the last time I attempted a kiss, it didn't turn out too well. So, here's that for your cringy viewing pleasure. But yes, that was from back in 2011. I haven't attempted a kiss since then. I think I traumatized myself. This time I made sure to get a reference for a kiss. I had tried to do it freehand, you saw earlier, and then just kind of gave up on trying to do it freehand and slightly traced over it real quick. It ended up sort of messing the chins up, which my brother pointed out later on when I asked for help, because I knew something was wrong with the line work and I couldn't figure it out. So he pointed a few things out, like with the arms and the guy's hair and the chins, as well as his hand. His hand was very irritating, as was his arm. I have a lot of trouble getting arms to look right when they're bent that drastically. I don't know why, I do. For the most part, I did enjoy doing this picture though. It was definitely different than what I normally draw, or what I've been drawing recently, I should say. Around in here is where I ended up talking to my brother and getting a little help. It's where all the dots and stuff came from, because he kept touching my screen. Which is a touch screen, obviously, if he's making dots on it. But it helped a lot, yeah, with the chin and with bringing the hair and pushing the hair back and changing the hand a bit. Oh, la la la. But yeah, I've said it before, but he's definitely one of my go-tos when I need help figuring out what's wrong with a piece. Because it's like, I can look at it, and look at it, and look at it, and go, there's something wrong, and stare at it for an hour and not be able to figure out what it is. And I'll go, look at this for me, and he goes, yeah, that looks weird. Yeah, it does look weird. I'll change that. So he's always really helpful, you know, unless he's playing WoW. Most of the time he's helpful. But after he's like finished a raid, sometimes he'll come in and help me, if he remembers. He doesn't always. But that's okay. But if he ever ends up moving far away, I'll be very sad. Just, you know, because I'm used to having him nearby, 1, and 2, I won't have my little, art critic person to help me with my art stuff. Yeah. Mostly just because he won't be close by to share stuff with, but it is what it is. I'd almost forgotten to put his other arm in. So I'm like, wait a minute, you should be able to see his other arm on the other side there. Otherwise his hand is just kind of floating around behind her back. And then I remembered she had a cape, so I drew the cape. Of course, it's kind of funny because I put the dark blue in there to help me make sure that I didn't miss any spots, and on some of the, like the grays and stuff, I still ended up missing spots because I had the blue in there. But it is what it is, and I managed to fix it pretty easily. Overall, I had fun with it, despite the little hiccups here and there. One of the things that I kind of find funny that I sort of realized recently is, you know, looking at younger people's art, or people who are just kind of starting at art, mostly younger people. Oh, excuse me. Mostly younger people, though, is they'll just draw anything, any pose, any kind of person or creature or whatever, and no matter how it looks, it's, you know, they'll do it. But as we get older and more aware of what we're doing and how things appear, we get far more hesitant to actually try those things, because it's like, oh, it's not going to look good, it's not going to look good. I can't do that, it'll look bad. Since it's kind of weird to think about, because, you know, when you're a kid, it's kind of one of those, I can do anything, and then as you get older, you kind of lose that, and it's kind of sad. Because, like, when I was a kid, you know, I would jump off the high dive all the time, and now that I'm an adult, it's like I'm terrified to jump off the high dive. And it's weird. I'm sorry, this kind of got, what's the word? Deep. Not deep. There's an actual term for it. Me and terms just don't get along. Very, whatever. I'm sure you guys understand what I mean. But yeah, it was kind of my, one of my little realization things when I was looking around on DeviantArt. You know, you see all these younger artists on there, and it's like, they're doing this and they're doing that, and it's like, I wouldn't do a pose like that. That's, you know, it would turn out horribly, and it's like, but it's like, you know, I mean, not to be mean or anything to the younger artists, it's like, you know, theirs isn't the greatest, but they still do it anyway. It's like, well, why can't I do it anyway? I mean, why not? There's nothing stopping me except, you know, me. And I think that's one of the reasons that I am trying to challenge myself so much recently. Is just because subconsciously I did realize that I was stopping myself, that I was pretty much the only reason that I wasn't doing things. So, yeah. Pushing myself and stopping myself from stopping myself. Back to the actual picture. I'm really happy with how I managed to get this sunset glow to look. because I've actually never done anything like that before. That very strong backlighting that comes through in like the middle of the picture and the outside, and I'm like really happy with how that turned out. It ended up, and I actually managed to get it without too much trouble even. So I'm quite proud of myself with that. I'm really happy with how this turned out, especially my sky. My sunset sky is really pretty, to me at least. I mean, you guys might think it's crap, but I think it's great. So, yeah, that's the picture. And see you tomorrow with the next Linktober.